Hi, this is Talk K Dramas with Bruce and Dallas.
Hey,
Pachinko, episode 5.
indeed.
Okay.
All right. And so sentence number 1, the older Sunja goes back to Korea and finds that her father's grave is missing. Sentence number 2, the young Sunja takes Kyung-hee, or they find out that their family is in debt, and Sunja sells the watch that Hansu gave her. And then sentence number 3, Solomon goes on a wild search to find Hana. That's my 3.
Okay.
I don't know what wild should have been, but anyway. It felt kind of wild to me, like how he went about it.
You know what? We talked a little bit about this week. We touched on it. And I've been thinking about it, that if this is your first time watching a, in quotes, Korean drama, it's not really a true Korean drama.
I don't know what a true Korean drama is, though. Like when I hear like you say it, I've heard it said like on that podcast that you're talking about. I don't know what a true Korean. Well, like what are you
typical saying? Maybe I shouldn't say true, but it's not like a typical Korean drama, or
where what
they fall in love. It's maybe a rich CEO son who, it's not the typical Korean drama. And plus, I mean, this is American made as well. So
it's just I don't.
You can't even really call it a Korean drama, can you?
Well, then can you call Kingdom a Korean drama? Or
well, it was made in Korea. It has all the
extracurricular. Or because we watch some things that are like,
well,
don't have a powerful love story through it.
They always have the school kids in their uniforms, but then that's not true too, because there are historical Korean dramas. Anyways, that's okay. So we don't.
So if you're talking about if you're talking about like a powerful like love story,
but I mean, this could have it too.
We'll see.
But it is American made. I still didn't look up to see if the book was, if it was actually written in English or if it was translated.
Korean. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So anyways, that's something that's up for debate here.
Look, that part I get, like, right, it's like this is not they're surely not filming this in a traditional way. Yeah. They're taking 3 stories and merging them all together into one. I think we've already mentioned that the cinematography is off the charts.
But there's other dramas where cinematography was great. It's not that. It's just the way the story's being told. So anyways, let's not spend too much time on it, okay? Because there's so much we could talk about.
Okay, then let's not.
If it being a Korean drama or not a Korean drama.
I don't. Yeah, it's the one that we're watching, and so I'm good.
But the reason why we did pick it is because it has a lot of Korean actors and actresses in it that we're used to. So if this is your first time watching, Hansu's character is one of our favorites.
Even Ho.
Yeah, so you definitely want to, you can go to our website, and we've done 2 other Korean dramas with him in it.
Did we?
We
Boys
did
Over Flowers. Yes.
And so if you like him, you can go back and watch those. So let's get started here. Episode 5. So it's 1931 and they arrive in Osaka. I thought you would say that as one of your sentences, that they arrive in Japan.
Yeah, I mean,
so they meet the brother.
I think, storyline. I just didn't think it was as compelling because there's character development in what I said.
Yeah, so they arrive in Osaka, 1989. They go back to 1989 in Busan, and they're at the fish market. And older Sunja, Grandma Sunja, she's walking through the fish market, and she sees the abalone. She's reminded of how she used to dive.
Yes.
For them.
Yeah. I used to find bigger abalone than this.
Oh, that was
Or she was small and she thought it was bigger. That's what
True.
it
Oh,
is. It's like when you
totally.
go back to, your elementary school, you're like, it looked so much bigger when I was a kid. It's like, yes,
It was. I
because
kind
you
of
were
was.
smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go back to 1931 and they're on the train
Mhm.
and the brothers are talking and there's a scene when they're on the train and Sunja looks out the window and it looks like Hansu standing there, just his
Yeah.
back.
Mhm.
And oh God, he turns around and it's not him.
It's not him.
But he's lives there, doesn't he live in
He's
Osaka?
around. He gets
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
So is she gonna see him?
We'll see.
She
I mean,
might.
are we gonna jump? I mean,
No, I'm
it's
just
not
questioning.
like,
I'm just questioning.
yes.
Is she gonna
Oh,
end
for
up seeing him?
sure. Oh, for sure. We
That
all
would make for
know
good
that
drama.
we all know that Hansu is still an important character. Like he's going to carry all the way through these 8 episodes, if not, into the
I wonder
second
if he
season.
is.
Oh, for sure. There's no doubt. I mean, they're already like the way that they're juxtaposing everything. It's like Sunja's story cannot be told without the love triangle.
True, they are
going to
gonna
happen
show
right
him
now.
in some, yeah. Um, and so they're walking through this neighborhood, and it's not a very good neighborhood. And the
Yeah,
brother's talking about how bad it is for Koreans there.
the Korean ghetto.
Yeah. And then she meets the sister-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
and that actress, we know her from The King,
Yes.
Eternal Monarch.
The
We've seen her.
chairwoman.
She looks so
Yes.
different
Oh,
in this
prime minister. No, prime minister. She was the prime minister in Kingdom.
in The King. In the Kingdom.
Yeah. Did you notice why she looked different? Like, she definitely looks different, but
Just her hair,
there
makeup,
was
something different?
there was
Something else?
Yeah,
What
there
was it?
something.
What do you know? What?
Oh, I know exactly. Oh, I
Are
just
you gonna
thought that
tell
you were
us?
picking. Oh, is she? They made her darker. They darkened her skin up a little bit.
Oh, well, maybe she doesn't have makeup, face makeup. And
Well,
stuff.
I think they did that on purpose to give a sense of, because right, it's like if you think about how colorism works, like literally, right, it's like the higher up you go, the lighter your skin tends to be for a lot of different reasons. And there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of value in Japanese culture of lighter skinned people, right? So that's why I said colorism, not necessarily white supremacy. But yeah, and so they made her a little bit dark. I noticed it. It's like they spray tanned her. I'm not even kidding. It's like it's really light, but she is not anywhere. She is not as fair, if you would, as she was in Kingdom. It's like,
yeah, I can see that. And then it's a harder life, In Kingdom, I mean,
she's probably out in the sun a lot more and everything. Even though she's still supposed to be from a wealthy family.
She is
in this one, but she definitely has. She's not wealthy anymore. That's for sure.
So when she serves Sunja rice, Sunja starts crying.
Yes.
This must be so hard for her, having to leave her home.
Yeah.
And her mom.
I mean, yeah, that's something that I was thinking about saying in the other episode, but it's like, this is a whole different time, right? It's like she literally left with no guarantee that she would ever see her mother and family and country again, right? Nowadays, it'd be like, man, you could. I was just talking to them, to Alana last night. Like, look, they got because she's a baller. She plays basketball, and I'm like, look, there's European leagues. There's leagues in almost every country. So you might be able to. It's like maybe you don't play for the NWA, but you play for some other country or something like that. You might be like that, and and it's like, but if she went, we'd see her. There's no reason why we wouldn't keep seeing her, right? But back then, man,
yeah,
it's like she's literally like, I may never see my mother again.
Yeah, but also the time, that's what happens if you got pregnant. I mean, there's plenty of cultures and stuff where they would send you away.
Yeah,
even here in America, a certain time in history where they would send you away.
Yeah.
So we're back in Tokyo, and Solomon meets a friend at a bar, and they have dialogue, but he asks about Hana, and his friend is, they start talking about women, the type of women that Solomon likes, and the friend is like, like that one, Hannah, the one you were stuck on.
Yeah.
And so,
Which caused us to like go like, huh?
see, and he says she disappeared.
Mhm.
But I think we weren't really sure who she was.
Right. No, that
But
caused a lot of question because what I knew from I think it was episode 2 was that his father and his, I guess his girlfriend, were looking for their daughter. And so that's what made me think daughter like biological. But clearly it's daughter as in for him it
it's
would
a
be
stepsister.
stepsister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so his friend also says that he's been blackballed
Mm, yeah.
because of the whole situation. And then he asks, where can he find Hannah?
Yeah.
So the friend tells him where he might find her. And then Solomon, Naomi's at the same party, right? I think she's at the same party.
Yes.
And he
Yeah.
talks to her outside. And so we get a little more information about Hannah, that it's actually his dad's girlfriend's daughter, and that they were
Yes.
14, or she was 14 at the time that he met her.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
And
They're
so,
about the same age. And so, yeah.
so I'm sensing a little tension between them two. Do
Oh,
they
for
like put each
sure.
other down?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
It's one of those like
Passive aggressive
yeah, it's
type of
definitely
things?
a love-hate related. They're taking actually huge swings at each other.
They are, but they're so calm.
But they're doing it in such a reserved manner.
I
that it's
didn't
just
write down
like,
what they said. Do you
whoa.
remember what she said to him? And then he said something to her.
You know what? I can't.
Yeah.
It's like everything's blurred. We just got back from a WNBA game, and I'm the driver, and so we can't. So I'm still a little blurry on some of the details here, but yeah, no, it was
they throw
like
shade at each
they're
other.
really throwing barbs at each other. I mean, he said something about her being a woman in a business world that no one wants, or something like that, and then. And she said something. She threw mad shade at well, no, I do remember this because I did want to talk about it. She was like, so you think that Korean woman that you was trying to sell the property to, you think she did that on purpose to embarrass
to make
you?
you look bad? Yeah.
She's like, because to me it was pretty clear that she wanted to embarrass you. Like that was the kind of like just low key, just
I know,
just threw a monster swing at him, and then that's when he was like, "Yeah, I wonder what it's like to be a woman in a business that nobody wants you." Yeah,
and
like,
then
that must suck, you know.
And then she said something like right when she's walking away, like, "It'll be interesting to see what happens to you."
Yeah.
Now that you've been blackballed and
yeah, no, she's fascinating. I mean, and honestly, Solomon right now is actually the most interesting he's been to me. All the angsty stuff, I just don't do that very well. Like just all this, who am I? Man, I'm just like, stop it. But now he seems to be like a little bit more single-minded and on a mission type of deal, like of discovery. Like he knows where he wants to go and he's searching it out. And I like it when people are settled in who they are and confident, if you and moving in a specific direction. But yeah. And so anyway, I don't know if the Korean woman wanted to embarrass Solomon. It's
I
just
didn't feel that.
Yeah, I just feel like that's the way it just wound up being.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. It just But again, there's so much tension between them. I wonder, do they really like each other?
Of course they are. Of course they're attracted to each other.
Yeah.
And I feel the chemistry, but it's low key. It really is. Look, the love story that you're looking for is definitely still in the young Sunja love triangle.
Oh yeah,
that's the love. That's where all the chemistry
I get it
is happening. But
I feel
the Solomon, Naomi thing, it's a side note.
Yeah,
it might get better as it goes along, but right now
I wasn't even suggesting that I wanted one to be there. I don't feel their chemistry too much.
Yeah.
But I feel that there's tension in their relationship.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah. I'm not. It's the Sunja and Hansu one.
Oh yeah.
That's just getting me.
Hansu and
Hansu,
Isa.
did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it. I'm just saying it, and then you just said that. And I'm just like, it's a love triangle. So it's Isa also.
Yeah. Well, her feelings for Hansu.
For sure.
That's it's good. It's a good one. You
Mhm.
you feel it.
Oh yeah.
Her, the way she felt for Hansu, and then just you feel like you were betrayed. You feel that he betrayed you, and then her just being so young. We talked about that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So Grandma Sunja gets to throw the ashes
Mm-hmm.
and
Kyung-hee. Yeah.
throw her ashes. And so now, like you said in one of your sentences, she's looking for her father's burial. She
Mm-hmm.
remembers where she buried him,
Yeah.
but there are all buildings there now.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh
notice
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it was kind of
So they
like,
moved the
yeah,
gravesite. Yes. And it happens. The gravesites get
yeah.
moved all the time.
She was hoping
Uh,
that they did it correctly.
mm-hmm.
But so she gets wind of another person, Boki, Shin Boki.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's played by a woman that we've seen
The
quite a bit.
grandmother,
Oh,
the Korean grandmother.
Masun. Oh,
Yeah.
Masun is her name. We've seen her. We see
Multiple,
her
yeah, in
in a
multiple
lot.
things. Kingdom was the last thing that I think her most recent. No,
And extracurricular.
yeah.
She was the mom in extracurricular.
Was she the mom?
Not extracurricular, Squid Game. I'm sorry.
Oh
So
yes.
you'll see her a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll see her a lot.
She's still
Um,
putting in work. She's got to be like 80 plus, right? Like
I
she's
yeah,
past 80.
yeah.
She's still putting in work.
Oh yeah.
Man, love that woman. I wish she was my grandma.
You wish you had a grandmama.
Yeah, there's that too.
It was so interesting how they brought her back, Doki.
You see that shade that that's man, she just sucker punched me right there. But
Oh, I didn't. We've talked many
it
times.
was a statement of fact, but
yes,
it's still.
We've talked many times. That's why Bruce is so rough around the edges, because he didn't have grandparents. Grandparents really soften you up because they spoil you to death. That's why Bruce just.
I have.
He has no
I
idea.
had almost zero contact. I had zero contact with my Japanese grandparents.
Yeah.
And I've never met consciously, never met my grandfather on my father's side. I met my grandmother on my father's side.
Did
once.
you? Oh.
I saw that I remember, right?
Yeah,
it's
but
like
you were young too, right? High school maybe?
It was high schoolish.
Okay.
Yeah. She had already kind of lost her sight and everything. So, but she.
Yeah, I love my grandparents.
It's like, it's Bruce. And she was like, I know. And I'm like, how you know? There's no way you would. But,
yeah.
Maybe she just was saying it for a different reason. But.
Well, she knows she has a grandson named Bruce.
Indeed.
So I liked how they brought that back, and she was able to talk about what happened to her mom, to everything. We don't know what happened though to her mother. She just left. She had to leave.
But what we do have kind of confirmed, or what we do have confirmed, is that Sunja really had no idea what we were saying before, that she didn't go back.
Did she ever go back? Or
and did she know what happened to her mom? And it seems pretty clear that she had no idea.
All this time.
I mean, can you imagine, like, what? I mean, we're talking about what? 50 years, and you literally have no idea what happened
the last
to your mom.
time.
That's crazy to me. Even if you don't like your mother or whatever, which that's not the case here, but that's really deep to me.
Yeah. When you hear stories like that, and I don't know, why were we talking about this yesterday when we were talking about kids, how they're so soft. I'm like, kids nowadays are just too soft. They're soft. And I remember a scene, if you watch on Netflix, Michael Douglas's new series, The Kaminsky Project. I think I've mentioned this before, where they get like one of the, I don't know, his mother comes back, or a sister, an older, comes back into the story. And, she's one of those that she'll say things that they just don't care. And she was like, yeah, these kids are all soft. See what it feels like to have a brother die in Vietnam or something. And I'm just like, we are, a lot of the young kids don't know, what people had to go through to survive. And
give some perspective to all of our lives and everything.
So when the kids complain and stuff, I'm always like, you just don't know. Like, just stop. You don't, let me take your phone away and see it.
They're like, no, don't take the phone away.
I tried to be all hard with Alana because I was like, man, this girl is too soft. She has everything. And so when we pick her up from school, like all the kids pull out their phones, right? And they're calling their parents, where are you? Where are you? Oh my God. So Alana would call me, where are you? And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I need to be tough on her. I'm like, don't you dare call me. I'll be there when I get there. Just wait. Like that's me being hard on our kids. So she's not so soft. Yeah. I said, I'm in line, the big line where everybody drives to the school to pick up their kid. I'm like, just sit there and wait, man. One time I had to wait for my dad to pick me up an hour and a half because I think he forgot. You don't call, you sit there and you just wait. And I'm like, so now, like when she calls me, I get mad. I'm like, I told you, don't call me. You just sit there and you wait. If something happened to me, somebody will figure it out and they'll come get you. Don't call me.
I just walk home.
Yeah, and you could. Me too. I've had to walk home a few times just because you're like, It's
like if I miss that bus for any reason.
Oh my gosh.
I just have to walk home.
That's what I told Alana too. I said, when we were young, we all took the bus to school. And I said, and if you miss your bus home, you didn't call your parents. You just walked home. You knew to walk home. So I'm a little bit embarrassed talking about this too, because I'm sure my dad would listen and just like,
you're soft.
I know.
Do you know what I had to do? I went to 6th grade camp with a blanket and a can of beans.
Oh, for sure. My dad has stories like that. He's like, yeah, we were on a trip. We were going on a trip somewhere. So he brought a can of soup. No can opener. Back then, they didn't have the pools. The pool tab. And my mom gets so embarrassed. She's like, how are you going to open it? He goes like, I don't know. I just
figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And even that.
He wanted to experience life. That's for sure.
And then I'm sure his dad would be like, yeah, you want to know what it's like to go to war?
True that. So very true. Your father never fought in any. He didn't
have to. Yeah. So
he just missed Vietnam and he was too old for he never went into the military. So
he never went into military, but he could have gotten drafted because he said a few of his friends were drafted. This is in the 70s, but because he got married and my mom was pregnant with me because I was born in 71.
You might have saved his life, love.
Yeah, he owes me that, man.
Hey,
that old man. I'm tell him. Okay,
you might have saved his life.
Yeah. So she finds out. We talk about she visits her dad's grave.
Yeah, they finally track it down, and there was a little. Like, I don't know what that was between the person that was trying to find her father's gravesite.
The person?
There was the worker.
The worker, yeah.
And then, then Sunja and her
friend, Doki.
Well,
was it
no,
Doki?
Hold on. No, I need to back up a second and go, there was this tension between the Korean worker.
Yes, the woman helping to find.
The woman helping.
There was, yes.
And I just was like, I don't know if you had any insight on it, but I was like,
it just kind of really told the environment, the culture there, what she how it was.
Mm-hmm. I thought it had something to do with her being from Japan. Like, yes,
all of that.
Yeah.
It really lend itself to the story that maybe, because didn't she say something like, I didn't know anybody who left and came back, or it's interesting. And the judgment, there's so much judgment on everything that do we know why no, sorry. Okay. I think it's because maybe she got out. Maybe there's a little bit of judgment of the people that left.
Or the people,
and went to Japan.
Yeah, that's the kind. Those are the kind of things that I don't know really, but I felt it, and I'm like, huh, because Sunja had to back her son off of it because he started getting upset. Like, why? Basically, he was like, why are you asking all these questions? You don't need to ask all these questions in order to find my grandfather's gravesite.
Anybody that,
but she was like, and so it was, but it was really interesting, to me. And I'm looking forward. Hopefully, they do some more with that.
It's just even now, it being maybe naive when there's things that happen in history, and you you're like, oh, you're one of those.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that. I mean, that is interesting when you don't know. Obviously, yes, it was a little disrespectful, all the questions, and then the, son was frustrated. But when you meet somebody that has been through something you've heard about or
Right.
no, I mean, it is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's definitely the way that you would be asking the questions. You're definitely the person that would be asking this person right on the spot. Like, oh, really? When did you leave? And
see, that would be,
you would be the one that the son would be like, yo, why are you asking all these questions? You go, well, I just want to know. I've never met someone who, that would so be you.
That would be me. Like if ever I meet somebody like from another country, or how did you get here? Like, can you just walk over here? Can you just take a plane? Like, I just don't know those things because I was born and raised here, Southern California, and we don't travel. Like my family, we've never been on a plane. All my family's here.
Yeah.
I don't have any family in other countries or anything. And so when I meet somebody, I'm just interested in like, can you just come over? Like, do you need passports? Do you have to get permission?
Right.
Or if I meet somebody like, no, we got the lottery. What? You really?
Yeah.
Like you really did. Like people have to do that. You have to get a lottery to come over. Yeah. So see, that's exactly how I would be. That's a situation that would be for me. Just ignorant.
And see, and that's it's tough because I mean, so all of this is sparked by this one scene because I was looking at it and going, it's like I don't think she was trying to be disrespectful. It's just she was just genuinely inquisitive.
Yeah.
And there's for sure some tension about Koreans who have left. I guarantee you that there's some like for the Koreans who stayed, there's definitely tension about the Koreans who left. And all of that stuff. But it's like, I really hesitate. Like I wait for a really long time and I just listen to people in order to get that information. Because Alice gets frustrated with me all the time. I'll meet someone and she's like, what about this? What happened? And I'm like, I said hi. And they talked and we talked about this, and this. It was like, well, what about? And she starts asking me all these questions. I'm like, I don't ask those kind of questions because you could be getting into something really personal and not even know. Like you might be touching off in on thought landmines and not even know. And so I'm like, nah, I'm just like me. I'm just like that person. It's like, I'm very intuitive when it comes to like people's emotions and everything. Right. I'm like, I'm not going to ask this question because it might.
But also it could be different coming from you because I ask I've never encountered a bad situation or any,
Thank goodness.
Or if it is, then you can tell when they don't want to answer. Then
but like, you still press like you still like.
Yeah.
So. You gonna tell me or not? Kind of like if someone pauses, you're still like.
But I think it's different coming from me than you.
For sure.
Yeah, because for the most part, people do want to talk about. I mean, I'm really interested. Yeah. I don't come at it.
You can start touching off on landmines, and I'm like, yeah, I don't.
Maybe, but it's never happened to me. That's why
thank goodness
I am the way that I am.
I did a workshop on race and sent someone back. Like they literally like started crying and like quit school.
Well, see, it's because you're just rough around the edges.
You are right. I am rough around the edges.
It also it does come. It depends who's asking and how they're asking.
Yeah,
so it's just different. It's different, and you're also in a room with other people like that. That of course, who wants to talk about Anyways,
it was a workshop, but anyway,
Bruce and I are throwing shade at each other. It's subtle, but it's there.
She's winning. She always wins.
Okay.
She wins in the end.
Where are we? Oh, so while Solomon is looking for Hana, he finds he's in an area that he was told. So he goes to this area.
I think it's the same it's the same Korean ghetto.
Definitely. Yeah, looks like it.
Because they're talking Korean to each other.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same Korean ghetto.
So he finds an old acquaintance,
Mhm.
and they end up having a meal together, meeting the family, and having a good time.
Yeah.
They know his father.
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
assume that. Yeah.
I'm not really trying to figure this out, but I just have to say that my mind is like, okay, what happened to Sunja's and Hansu's baby? And there's something that's, not answered yet, but I'm
Because
trying to figure it
is
out.
it Misak, the his father? Is that what his name is? Let's look
His
at your
father
drama
who?
sheet.
Oh, it's not
Solomon's
on
father.
Solomon Father. I don't have it because I couldn't find it.
Oh,
I
okay.
couldn't find it when I was looking for
I
it.
think it's Misak. But anyway, I'm just trying to figure. So
Yes.
you are for sure that Solomon's father is not Hansu's son. You're sure about that?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying and like I said, I'm not trying to figure it out right now, but I know that when I'm watching, I'm questioning in my head, is that Hansu's son? Did she have another son? Did Hansu come back and take his baby? Because remember the first episode when they are in the Pachinko parlor,
Mm-hmm.
and when Solomon first meets his dad, and then there's another gentleman there with him, an older gentleman with the dad, and we don't know we don't know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
I took it as like it was an old friend, maybe that he owned the business before because of what they were talking about.
For sure.
And then there was something on the television where they talked about how somebody passed,
a
and
gangster passed down his legacy.
yes, and they were interviewing the grandson.
Yeah.
And
because the grandson was in trouble, was in legal trouble.
And so the friend that was with the dad, they look at each other. So this is Solomon's dad and the other man.
That has nothing to do with us.
Yeah, they look at each other like, and then he's like, that has nothing to do with us.
And then they give each other the knowing glance.
Okay, so all those little things, I'm wondering, well, where's Sunja and Hansu's baby? Who did he grow up to be?
Mm-hmm.
Because for sure, Grandma Sunja, there's the father, Solomon's dad.
Mm.
And so we don't know yet, but all those things are running around in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't wait to find out what happened.
Yep.
Because I keep thinking, if Hansu doesn't have a son, he has 3 daughters already. Mm-hmm. He wants an heir. He needs, for sure, right? That's important. So I keep wondering, does he come back?
He might wind up buying her out.
I don't know. Okay.
Well, that and there was something anyway. No,
we'll figure it. We'll find out. Okay, but this one was interesting because the friend, when they were departing, the friend tells Solomon that he felt sorry for him. He goes, it's weird to tell somebody who has everything, I feel sorry for you. Yeah. But what he says was, because of all your burdens with your family's hopes and dreams. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of thinking about that. Like, did they put a lot of pressure on him? I mean, he did go away. He went to school in America. I'm sure. I don't know if they said it or not.
Asian cultures are in general.
Yeah, because his English is so well. So I'm assuming he went to school in the States.
Notorious for putting pressure on their kids.
And then he worked in New York. Yeah, so that was interesting.
Yeah, and then he also says, like, look, I like being here. I could be I could be basically the real me here. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, you're right. It feels like I thought that was really deep. It feels, weird to say I feel sorry for you when you have so much, but
yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. So it's so weird that I didn't even talk about it, but Sunja, I didn't write it down, to say that Sunja sells the pocket watch.
You didn't write that down? That was like the whole thing.
I know. You know what? There's times where I'm just like so into the scene that I forget to write stuff down.
Okay.
But what I did write down was that Hansu buys back the pocket watch.
Indeed.
That was the important thing.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying. It's like he's going to be part of this, whether it's minor or bigger.
And
there's the love triangle, and that's clear.
And so the shop owner says, like, how did you know? How did you know she was going to sell this? And he says, because she married a man who's weaker than her, will pay dearly. Oh,
Didn't she all he also said married a man who's a dreamer? I think he said it's like
maybe that's what it was.
that's a dreamer.
He's
weaker than her.
I was just looking at
and
the screen and trying to type. I was like, can you text? Like, because I'm doing it on my phone now,
Yeah.
writing notes.
Mhm.
And I don't want to take my eyes off of Hansu. So I was trying to like write my notes.
He did look good. He looked very powerful.
I know. Why do I like that? I like that.
I don't know. I don't know why you like that.
So anyways,
but I like the whole selling of the pocket watch thing. I just thought it was so cool that they brought that back, like her negotiating skills.
Yeah,
how
yeah.
they introduced that when she was a kid, and then you saw
Yeah.
her. So like she was literally about to walk out the
Yeah.
door, like 3 times, like
okay, thank you.
okay, bye, and then she saw she had him on the hook, and then you're like 300. That's it. That's all I'm going to take. And as she got the deal, little did she know that Hansu had already set that deal up for her. But it's interesting, right? It's like, because this is the part to me that's so Korean drama, but it's not a Korean drama, but it's so Korean drama where it's like it's all behind the scenes. It's like he's going to express his love to her and take care of her from a distance. And take care and honestly take care of his son from a distance. He'll figure it out, right? Because he's invested. This is his only male heir. And yeah, I think we all know that the love is real that Hansu has. It's just, in our day and age, it's just misbegotten. He's just not. He's a an alpha male who's a gangster and did everything possible to make it out of Korea. And honestly, that whole I'm getting the hell out of Korea thing, that's probably how a lot of Koreans, like that exchange between the person that was trying to find a gravesite, it was like, y'all abandoned us, right? Like the Koreans who stayed in Korea, they could think of the Koreans who left as y'all abandoned us. You should have stayed with us. And because I know that's how it works in the hood. When it's like, man, I'm going to get out of the hood. I'm going to, get myself out of the hood. I'm going to do this and get out of the hood. And it's like, and sometimes these folks come back and it's like, and you're not welcome here. It's like, you made it out, stay out. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, I'm finding that dynamic very interesting, to say the least.
It's human behavior.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at.
It is. Unfortunately or unfortunately, it is.
So Solomon finds out that he's being let go. Expected that, huh? And then Hannah calls. And she says she doesn't want to die alone. And she asked Solomon to come. And that was the end of the episode 5.
Yeah, that ending was intense. I like that. That was that.
I just think it's weird that she just keeps calling him at his work phone. She must be able to see
89, 89. He ain't got no cell phone in 89. We didn't have no cell phones.
Well, no, I mean by cell phones, but like, I don't know. I guess.
Why not call?
I think she could,
because she doesn't want him. She doesn't want him. She doesn't want her parents to like.
No, what I guess what I'm trying to figure out is in my head, how does she always know to call him when he's there? And but she sees him. She may be in a building somewhere.
She's seeing him from someplace.
Yeah, because on the other phone call they were with, she knew that he was talking to somebody. So that's interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out.
She must be keeping tabs on him, so she knew he was back.
And so, in wrapping this up, because that was the end of it, and so is the budding relationship between Isak and Sunja, does that just mean nothing to you? Because they got their freak on in this episode. Just saying, I don't know how they did it, because both of them had their clothes on. I don't know. That's how people. I know it's a religious thing too. He went under her. He went. I mean, I get that part, but I'm like,
What do you want to talk about?
Does that? I mean, you don't find that
What? Find what?
Their relationship growing. You didn't find that interesting, intriguing at all? No.
No, not really. I mean, no. It's just happening the way it's supposed to happening. She's trying to be a good wife,
Mm-hmm.
and they just got married. And yeah, I don't know. I know he did say there was a part, I didn't even talk about it, where he had told her, because in the beginning, because the brother is a little suspect. He thinks Sunja's a little suspect. He's not sure how he feels about her. Like,
Yeah,
she
which
did
to
this on
me,
purpose.
which to me was super dope. That, and we didn't talk about. Man, we skipped through like the whole. I mean, because you didn't write down the watch scene, we just kind of blew past that Kyung Hee, that her husband is it Jacob um that he's done, like, basically done his family dirty by getting into debt with, some loan
Okay,
shark type of people.
yeah, and that's why she had
and
to sell the
and that's
watch.
why she had to sell the watch
But
and
he
everything. But it
didn't do
was,
it for anything bad. He did it to pay for the passage for Sunja and his brother.
you know
The
what, you're
brother.
right. So it wasn't, yeah. And so but it was, to me, and then Sunja, she took ownership of her debt, and handled that.
Oh, there's a whole part of my notes here we haven't got to. So we didn't, that wasn't the end of the episode.
It was,
No, it wasn't. Okay.
I thought it was, but
So what happens is, we'll see if I messed up on my notes or something. But so we're talking about Isaac. I call him Isaac. And Sunja, what was he told her, I don't want this debt between us. Like, you owe me nothing. This is, I guess, after the whole watch thing. And he says, I must not be a burden to you.
no, that wasn't during the
So-
watch thing. That was before. That was during the consummating the marriage scene.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
You really want to talk about that, huh?
I don't really want, you brought it back up.
I didn't bring up the consummation
we was
thing.
ready to let this thing go.
No.
It was just, I'm finding that relationship intriguing. It's
Are
at
you?
least intriguing to me. It's
Because-
way better than the chemistry
Because
between
why?
those two is better than the
What
chemistry
is
between
it? What is it
Solomon and
about?
Naomi.
What is it about their relationship that's so intriguing to you? Because they didn't know each other?
Yeah, they didn't know each other, and yet they find themselves, taking care of each other. I don't know. That's
think-
very compelling to me.
I think it's duty.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I get
For
it.
Sunja, it's definitely duty. And Isaac, I think he truly does, like, have feelings for her. I think he loves her.
Yeah.
But there was a scene we didn't talk about when the sister-in-law, yeah, my notes got mixed up, sorry. When right before they find out about the loan shark, the sister-in-law washes Sunja's clothes and she starts crying because
Yeah.
she washed the smell out.
Yeah. She wanted to smell for a little bit longer, but
That is for real. I've had like thoughts about that. Like, if something happened to you,
wow,
I wouldn't wash your clothes.
that's nasty. But I get it.
No, for real, because ever since you and I got together, you have a smell.
You see how she just threw that shade at me? Like,
you have an odor. You, I really, like, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, this is Bruce. I could smell him. Like, he has a scent. And so, anyways, I have thought about that. Like, oh my gosh, I think if I if I wasn't able to smell that anymore, I would go crazy, just like Sunja did.
yeah,
My
my funk,
Your
yes, my body odor.
But I've grown to love it. Literally, when I do the laundry, I'm like, that is Bruce.
Okay.
His funk and all. I love his funk and all. That's
Wow.
true love right there, love. Don't ever
Is
question.
it?
Don't
Is
ever
it? Is
question
that
how
what
I
it
feel
is?
about you. I accept your funk and all.
Got it. Got it.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, episode 5. Let us know if you're enjoying it. Send us a little message somewhere on our website or something.
Yeah. or Instagram or the website. You already said the
And a
website.
YouTube, you could
And the YouTube
comment
channel.
if
You
you're
can make
watching.
comments in that space.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can
We
find
appreciate
us.
the people who like are contacting us. We hit
We
you
love
back.
that. We love
Yes,
it. Love it. Please subscribe. And if you haven't already given us 5 stars on podcast, if you would do that.
Because for some reason, when we search for ourselves in our podcast, we can't
We don't know how you guys are finding us.
exactly. We literally have no idea how y'all are finding us, because when we search for ourselves, we can't find we don't.
We're doing something wrong. We need to figure it out, our SEO.
Yeah, we got to figure something
Search.
out. If y'all, hey, look, if y'all, somebody knows out there, like, yo, hey, you can just do this. It's got to be some kind of quick fix thing, because it's not like we've been doing this for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
So we got plenty of episodes. We may not have a whole bunch of ratings, but still, we should be appearing somewhere in the top 10 in the queuing, because the other pages in there are not even about K-dramas. Like so I'm. There was language learning, like Korean language ones, and I'm like, why is this popping up before a K-drama actual? It says K-drama in the damn title. How are we not popping up on a K-drama search without, versus languages or something like that? It's just weird. And so,
anyways, thanks for listening.
help us out.
Bye.
Bye.